I rise to speak to my 10 amendments in this group on environmental sustainability and what to support almost everything that the Noble Lord Bassam has just said. Because if you're talking about sustainability, which is what we've been talking about for 2 days on this bill, you cannot avoid environmental sustainability. You just can't, because it will have an impact on the financial well-being of football, but also every other business, of course. And of course, at the moment, most clubs do not think very hard about this. It's true that, Forest Green Rovers, fantastic. Liverpool is doing its bit. But by and large, these are little tweaks that clubs are doing, which makes them feel good, or perhaps they can't imagine doing anything more. I'm not sure. But we know the climate's changing. We know that the weather is changing. We know there are more floods, more droughts. So it's very short-sighted not to include environmental sustainability when you are worried about the future of clubs and their financial sustainability. Because football is at risk from climate change, as are many other sports. Flooded pitches lead to cancelled games, lost revenues and disappointed fans, and droughts demand expensive irrigation. As Carlisle United discovered, a flood can lead to a kind of jump in insurance premiums that could put you out of business. And so fans need the confidence that these growing risks are being prepared for and that they aren't going to have a detrimental impact on clubs' finances. So I would ask the Minister, and she's been very kindly giving me a meeting to discuss this, although we didn't quite agree. I would ask her if she agrees that climate change will have direct impacts on the financial sustainability of football, and if so, how is that recognised in the bill? Because at the moment, of course, it's not. Now, my Amendment 103 requires the football regulator to include an assessment of football's resilience against climate change in their State of the Game report. Because if the report doesn't consider environmental sustainability, then it can only give an incomplete picture of the state of the game. My Amendments 127, 131, 154 and 166 introduce climate and environment management plans as a mandatory licence condition for clubs. This, as the Noble Lord Bassam said, it should be mandatory across all businesses. And these environment management plans would set out the club's environmental impact and what's being done to mitigate it. Above all, they would also require clubs to identify the impacts that climate change is having and will have on the club and make plans to manage those risks. Now, football, of course, is also contributing to climate change and environmental damage. Hundreds of thousands of single-use plastic cups and utensils every single match day, fertilisers, herbicides and millions of litres of water to keep the pitch green, cities and towns choked up with traffic on match days. And the definition of sustainability within the bill as it stands allows all this to continue, unabated. It would even allow clubs to damage the environment even more as long as they keep on serving fans and making a contribution to the community. It really is an own goal for the planet. But football grounds actually caring about the planet don't have to cost the earth. If we look at Forest Green Rovers, who've been described as the greenest football club in the world, they're focused on sustainability across their business. Solar panels provide about 20% of the club's electricity needs. The club organises coaches to away games, not planes. They've cut out single-use plastics in favour of reusable or refillable options. The pitch is organic and harvests rainwater for irrigation. This is a club that's at the top of their table and fit for the future, and a role model that other clubs could aspire to. And Liverpool, for example, also the top of its table, regrettably, has the Red Way, which is about environmental sustainability. So my amendments will lay the groundwork for greener pitches and truly sustainable sport, embedding environmentalism throughout the football regulator's remit. Amendment 55 adds climate and environment to the football regulator's objectives. At second reading, the Minister suggested that the football regulator must be focused on the financial sustainability of clubs, but the bill already lists safeguarding the heritage of English football as an objective, so why not safeguard the environment as well? Amendments 60 and 66 require the football regulator to act in accordance with the net zero targets in the Climate Change Act and secure the long-term environmental sustainability of football. If the football regulator can't set sport on an environmentally sustainable footing, then football's long-term viability is at risk. And Amendment 144 would have clubs consult their fans about climate and environmental issues facing the club. Sustainable football shouldn't just be a luxury only enjoyed by vegans and eco-entrepreneurs. While Forest Green Rovers is showing what's possible, this bill is an opportunity to embed best practice throughout the sport. I really do hope that the government can move on this particular issue.